Look, an ex-presenter, he's a personal friend of Jamie's. He's been in the personal development industry for the last 11 years. He's been working for 21st Century Education for the last 2 years. He's an accredited finance broker, and his passion is to be the catalyst for change in people's lives. That is his real driving passion. But today he's going to show you how to unlock your personal financial equity to potentially maximise the opportunity you have here in the US. So he's one of the craziest guys I've ever met. So put your hands together, please, for Mr. Gaurav Gupta. Come on, give it up for Gaurav.
Oh, stop it, stop. No. Sorry, was my body language different? Where's my cheer squad from last night? Yeah, that's right. See, I had them prepared earlier. Okay, guys, who's excited about property? Yes. Who's gotten over their jet lag? Just a little bit. Yes. But here's the thing, you all had a big lunch, right? Yes. So you're all a little bit... So I'll tell you what works well is a glass of water. So if everyone has some water, and is just like I will, so we'll just drink it. We're not going to splash it on the people next to you. That's a different seminar. So, guys, have some water. Statistics show that you learn more when there's water, and my job here today is to educate you, right? That's my role here today, to educate you on what your potential is. So, once again, as Joel pointed out, what I'm going to discuss with you today is how to massively increase your wealth by unlocking your personal borrowing potential. And the reason why you've got red and green there, massively in red and unlocking in green, is not because I'm colorblind, is because I want you to focus on those two words during my presentation. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes. Great. So, a little bit about myself. That's my family and I, so that's obviously me. That's my father, who obviously gets his good looks from me as well. And my mum and my sister. So, few people you might know there. You can see Nick Halleck there. There's Jamie, Pete, and these sales boys in the Melbourne office. So there's Robbie, Aaron, and Varun, and obviously myself. So that was at the Platinum Club cruise. So now I know none of you guys here have been to the Platinum trips yet, but I encourage all of you guys to go. It is a life-changing experience. Now, that's right. So does anyone know that gentleman there? Chris Howard, that's right. He's also a personal friend of mine, so love hanging out with guys like that. This is why I'm at the Academy. And that gentleman there, has everyone heard of Tony Robbins? Yes. Right. So that's Tony Robbins' son. He's his only son there, Jarek Robbins. Great mate of mine. Every time in San Diego, I catch up with him. So look him up online, guys. That gentleman there, does anyone in this room know who he is? He's Keith Cunningham. He's the actual inspiration for the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? So he's Robert Kiyosaki's the inspiration for the books of Rich Dad Poor Dad. So another mentor of mine. So these guys are all my mentors. These are who I've learned from. I'm not saying this to impress you, but impress upon you, as the adage goes, that what you can put out there, you'll get. So, 11 years ago, oh, by the way, it's a pretty cute photo, right? And the puppy's cute too, but so what I'm going to discuss with you is opportunity, right? Opportunity is where it's at. You've been given the opportunity, and I respect you guys for being here, because my family was given the opportunity to do it last month, and we bought 2 properties. Jamie discussed the different prices of properties, right? We bought 2 properties at $85,000 each. Already settled, already giving us a rental income. So guys, I've been there, done that with you guys, same as you guys are about to this whole week. So that's my disclaimer there. What you mainly need to see is that I've got a Australian credit license there, and I'm also a member of the MFAA. So that's the boring stuff there. Does everyone understand whatever's on there? Great. That's right. Great. So now, there's a little secret in the finance industry that not a lot of people know about. And it's kind of unsexy to discuss at most times. Personal finance. Why? Because most people think of it as, high interest rates, short-term finance, or, short period of finance. That's all true. what I'm saying to you is that most people don't know the difference of what they can use it for, whether it's a good debt or a bad debt. Now, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a big line down the middle here, and I'm going to discuss good and bad. Now, I like interaction with the audience. So I'd love it if you guys could give me some feedback on what a good debt is. Tax deductible, right? Appreciated in value. What else is a good debt?
Something you might get some pleasure out of.
Sorry, what was at the back?
Something that you might get some pleasure out of.
Is that a good debt or a bad debt, guys? An asset that grows in value. So we'll also talk about, let's put it as cash flow, right? Pardon?
Something you don't have to pay back.
Something you don't have to pay back. Okay, we'll talk about that in a moment. I won't put it in there. Now, let's talk about bad debts. What's a bad debt, guys? Give me car loan. Right. Car. Value. Golf clubs, right? Depends on who you're dating. I won't put that in there because it's being recorded. What else, guys? Home loan? Ooh, okay. Well, that depends. So I'm not going to put that in there, but it can be, depending on how you've structured it. And guys, go see Warren about that and how to structure your property. He'll be on next discussing tax advice. So, guys, and we know the difference between good and bad debt. Now, what most people use a personal loan for belongs in this category, right? That's why it's unsexy. That's why people don't like getting personal loans, because it's usually used for, if you can see the point of there, bad debt. Now, we've already discussed what a personal loan is. Why? Now, if we were to instead use a personal loan for good debt or good purposes, then you could actually use it as an investment to leverage yourself both for things that go up value and things that go up for your cash flow. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the extra cash you're getting in your pocket. It's about the end result, like Jamie mentioned. So, how much, right? A lot of people say, oh, personal loans, $5,000, $6,000. Well, look, last week, we actually confirmed someone for $40,000, and we can get personal loans for anyone for up to $80,000, right? Who's thinking an extra property in the US right now? Good. That's my purpose here, to get you guys over the line, to get you as many properties as you feel that you deserve. Not how many you can afford right now with the amount of money in your bank, because guess what? Most people think their piggy banks look something like that. It's locked. My role here is to help you unlock your personal financial capital. That's what I was looking for. Now, let's go through the process here a little bit of how a personal loan happens and how quick it is and why Jamie's invited me here. So, personal loan application is very simple. You guys can see the application forms that you've got. What you do is that I'll invite you guys to come speak to me sometime during the period of this week with that application filled out. Once it's filled out, within the first 10 minutes, I'll be able to determine your potential serviceability and potentially how much we could borrow. It takes 10 minutes, guys. And then the very next working day, so hypothetically, let's use the scenario here this week. You guys come see me today. I'll lodge the application today. And by Sunday, which is viewing day for the properties, sorry, which day is Sunday, guys?
Saturday.
No, Saturday is viewing day. Sunday is the, which day, guys?
Sunday.
Yep. The day after Saturday, that's right. Well, basically, it's the day that, showcase day. That's right. Great. Thanks for that. I'll take care of you. No, but basically, guys, we've got showcase day on Sunday. And that's the day you guys will be looking at going, do I need some more money? Ideally, I'd like to give you guys the answer by Sunday. Reason why? Because it's actually Monday in Australia, and I can get you some answers by then. So I can have you pre-approved for a home loan, not a home loan, sorry, a personal loan by Monday. Who's excited by that? Great. So that's how the process works. And as soon as you arrive back in Australia, you go into one of the lender's offices. Depends on which lender we pick for your personal situation, because we're authorized to give you exact, specific advice based on your personal scenario. So once that happens, you go into the lender's office and the money's wired to your account the next day. Who'd like to have the money the day after they got back to Australia? That's right. So that's why we're talking personal loans here, guys. That's exactly why we're talking personal loans. So let's look at who this loan is for. For people who want results now. Guys, hands up if you want results now. That should be everyone here, just for a little. It should be everyone here. Okay, so time poor. I've told you how long it takes. Can it get any easier than that? Than filling out that application, come and see me for 10 minutes, done and dusted, guys. I do all the rest of the work. So maximize your opportunity while you're here in the States. As I said, the word opportunity is the golden word for what I'm talking about. Maximize it. So for most people, they think their piggybacks kind of look like that. Right? So if you think your piggybacks look like that, let's see what we can do to make it a lot larger. That's what I'm here for. So, who's this loan for? Ages of 18 to 65. Is everyone between the ages, is there anyone here who's not in those ages? Well, great. So everyone qualifies and has had 1 year consistent employment or 2 years financial. Now, we can work outside those fields as well. Even if their partner has had 1 year consistent employment or 2 years financials if they're self-employed, we can still work with them. So, and also they must be Australian at this stage. New Zealand clients, we're working on a product for you guys. That's about approximately 1 month away. So now here's a disclaimer, guys. It's very important. A personal loan is usually specifically not for investment purposes. It may assist in clearing of other debts. This may in turn allow you to use the original funds for investment purposes. Does everyone understand that? No. Right. So you can't usually, most personal loans, depending on which lender we go with, you can't specifically use it for investment purposes. But once the money's in your account, you can choose to do whatever you want with it. Okay? Great. So as long as you haven't been visiting that place a lot, you're usually fine to get a personal loan. So, Opportunity Street, you guys have all seen that before. Let's talk about something else that's not really that sexy, interest rates. So, the questions you need to be asking right now is how much extra is the dollar amount do you actually pay? How much is the actual amount? Yes, there's a rate attached to it, but we've been brainwashed in Australia to work on interest rates and how low interest rates are, et cetera, et cetera. So the dollar figure of the interest rate is what matters, not the percentage. So that's what we need to figure out. Now, how long will it take for you to save another $40,000? Exactly. For most people, the piggy banks look like the one I showed earlier. It'll take them a while. It could take 5, 10 years, some people 1 to 2 years. But here's the thing, 40,000 gets you another property, potentially, in the US. Now, has everyone heard of negative gearing? Right? We all do it in Australia, we're used to it. That's what I'm talking about. For a short period of time, if you wanted to get a personal loan, you could actually negatively gear your property. And this is, guys, this is for both with people who already have cash, and this is for also for people who don't have the cash yet. We'll talk about those strategies in a while. Now, at the end of the day, all scenarios lead to positive in 10 years. You'll be cash flow positive over a period of, most people about over 5 years, some people over 10 years, depending on the product we get you. Do you have the assets to support your loan? So who's got property here in Australia? Right? Who doesn't? Great. You guys need to come see me after this because there's a reason why. It's very important. Most people don't have the assets to support a loan. Most banks won't give a loan on US property. In fact, no bank will as far as I know. If you guys don't have the cash flow or the cash to support the loan, let's figure out a way for that to happen.
What if you do have the cash?
Then we'll figure out a way for you to use the cash better. Once again, opportunity cost. If you've only got cash for one property, as you mentioned, let's go get another one. So let's look at 2 hypothetical scenarios. So we could use the funds, for example, for a bridging loan. Who has a property that has equity in it, but yet hasn't unlocked the equity with a line of credit or some other form of loan? Great. So this is for people like that. So let's look at this property here in the US, purchased for $39,000, gross return of approximately $750 a month. right? We've all seen that example from the paraphernalia before we came over. Now, let's do some figures. So, guys, you're going to need your calculators and your brains. In that order. So, right. Let's pretend I like worst case scenarios. When I'm figuring out something, I'm conservative. Let's look at 18% interest. That's usually what we call a C-type client, which is A and B is obviously the best, but that's a C-type client. So $840 a month is what $40,000 will cost you, what it will cost you for principal and interest, personal loan, $40,000 over 7 years, and there's a reason why we structure it for over 7 years. Now, 2 months of this is $1,680. $150 cancellation fee, $1,830. Why 2 months? Because typically for refinance, in my personal experience, it takes between 2 weeks to 2 months. So, by the way, how long does it take for a property to settle? 2 to 3 weeks. In the USA. Right? Guys, these are home truths. If you need some cash, even if it's for a month or two, that's when you need to come see us. It takes up to 2 months to refinance property. I know this because I'm a mortgage broker. Right? So if you need some money for that time, not a problem. Your cost is $1,830, rent $1,300. Guys, let's do some maths. $1,830 minus $1,300 is... Pardon? $530. So you've invested $530 to purchase that property that's giving you... Okay, guys, what we do is that even though the rent's $750, let's take out $100 for additional costs. What's the rental income per year? So $650 times 12. $7,800. So you've invested $530 to secure, and yes, you've got to pay your normal interest-only loans that you'd have to pay in Australia, but effectively, to get an income of $7,800, it's cost you $530 to secure it. Is that a good investment, guys? Yeah. Right. So this is even for the people that have the money locked up as locked up in their equity in Australia. So
what are the management costs?
That'll be discussed with you later, but I've factored in $100 of management cost in there. Guys, I did the calculation for that. That's $8.80 a day. That's all it's costing you. $8 a day. Now, if you want to structure that better, speak to Warren, who's going to be on after this. He'll even teach you how to lower that figure a lot more. It could be as little as $4 or $3, which is, as they say, a cup of coffee a day. Right? But that's only a 2-month loan. It's a very short bridge loan. We use it as a bridge loan. Right, American refinance example. Everyone filled out their forms yesterday with the boys, slightly good-looking boys at Wells Fargo. So the girls say. Now, they've said you'll be getting a loan within 2 to 3 years potentially based on your FICO score, which is the credit score that you have in America. Now, let's look at this property here, $50,000 purchase, rental return of that. I've taken off 15% of the rental for a management fee, right? Because that's the figures I've been told that could potentially be your management fee. Right, so once again, let's look at $50,000 at 18% interest, which is $1,060 per month. By the way, that's also paying off your principal. At 2 years, that's how much it's costing you. Right? Rental income of $17,000. Guys, what's the final figure on that? So what's 25,440 minus 17,935? $7,505. Guys, now, by the way, what's 17,000 divided by 2? How much is it, guys? $8,967. So let's round it off to 8,900. Guys, you've invested guys and girls, sorry. You invested $7,500 to generate an income of how much? There you go. That's how much you've generated. Once again, I like putting everything in a daily sum. It's $10.48, $10.28 a day is your cost. Very simple, very effective. So, is everyone looking at potentially refinancing in 2 to 3 years' time based on the credit score here in America? Everyone is, right? If you don't have money for a property now, let's work on, yeah, sure, you're paying a high interest, but it's for a short period of time. And it really doesn't cost you that much more. You've invested $7,500 to get a rental income going forward in the future of $8,900. Is that a good investment, guys? Yes. Right, so this is, all of a sudden, we're talking good debt, not the bad type. You're not buying a jet ski with it. You're not going on holidays with it. You're not going off and doing some other random thing with it. You're using it. We're using the funds freed up for good debt. So, where to now? Really simple. You guys have got the application forms. I encourage you to fill them out sometime during this period of time, sometime today, if you want to come see me today. And the people who know they need to see me, I encourage you to, by the way, write these details down. My number. Who knows they need to come see me today to get an approval happening by Sunday? That's a good question. The interest rate depends on your personal situation, and I can only comment on that after looking at your application. Right? Who'd like to know how much they qualify for and what the interest rate is by Sunday? Right? I need you guys to go to the back right now, register a time with me to come see me today. It's very, very important that that happens so I can get you an answer by Sunday. Great. Guys, go ahead, do that.